And we're back for another exciting week of the Creators Collective. I hope you are ready for a lot of fun because I am. All three of us are in the Hangout, which is like weird. No guest this week.
Doesn't happen very often. Actually, Will is our guest.
Yeah, Will.
Yeah.
Good to have you on. I think they're the one we've guested the most.
That's right. Yeah, I'm the most recurring guest on our show.
You beat out Pal Jackman by a couple.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I do want to say a huge thank you to our patrons on Patreon, particularly to Darren Mates and Caleb Harris of You Can Make This Too. You are helping make this podcast better. So thank you for that. If you'd like to find out more about that, you can go to patreon.com/Creators Collective. And you can also listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, where all the cool people listen to their podcasts. So let's jump into this week. Zach, what you got going
on? Hammers.
Oh, I was hoping for deer in the headlights.
No, I'm getting ready to fly up to Jimmy's place in a couple hours. Like 1 hour after we're done with this podcast, I got to head out to the airport. Gonna fly up there and assist some people in teaching a blacksmithing course. So should be a lot of fun. I literally just grabbed, because I sold a bunch of hammers to some of the people that are going to go there, and I'm bringing some extras just to use. So I literally just took like a handful of hammers in the bags and threw them in my luggage. And like, it's probably overweight with no clothes in there. It's just full of hammers.
Love to see the look on the TSA's voice. Huh?
Yeah. Well, somebody, when they open it and try and, steal something.
I was going to say, can you bring a hammer in your carry-on?
I doubt it. If you can't bring 5 ounces of water on an airplane, I doubt they're going to let me bring a hammer on there. But I don't know. I mean, it's not like they have like an intelligent protocol, so who knows?
Maybe if you're TSA pre, I don't know.
I am TSA, but I don't think it makes a difference. They're going to put it through the thing and, look through it. Although I had something once, I can't remember what it was, but something went through security that definitely should not have gone through security, and I didn't even know it went through security. And afterwards, I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this made it through." I think it was a bomb. Yeah. I think it was explosives. Yeah,
I made it through. A
bunch of cocaine. Yeah, cocaine and C4. I didn't even know I had it in my bag.
I made it through. It was an international flight, but the domestic connecting flight to the big hub, like Charlotte or Atlanta or something. With my pocket knife that I always carry on me. Like it was just second nature. I woke up, put it in my pocket. Yeah. And I got through security. I got through the first flight and then had to go through, like the international security. Like you have to, and I remember like standing outside and reaching in my pocket to grab, whatever to put in the bin. And pocket knife sitting right there. And I was like, uh-oh. And so I had to totally sketchily throw it in the trash.
Yeah, they did that to me, or I think that's what happened. I think it was like a pocket knife or something. Yeah,
cool. Hammers, lots of fun.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm not sick of making them yet. I've already cranked out 30 of them. Well, yeah, 29. So that's crazy to me. Like I just started doing this, I don't know, probably 4 months ago. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of talent up there. I know that this is like the Dirty Smith is the head honcho up there. And Cliff Dufton, who's the guy that kind of taught me how to forge hammers, he's going to be up there helping out for a day or two. And obviously Brett, Skull and Spade 13. So should be a lot of fun. I think Chad from Mancrafting is going to be there too. We got a hammer for him.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm excited.
Sounds
excited for some cool weather. It's already back up into like the mid-high 90s here. So we had
we hit
3 days
21
of fall.
last night.
Yeah, just under 80, man. Just come on. It's November. Let the humidity let up. I'll be excited too. It's funny. I went to since I'm going to be up in New York, and I'm really anticipating the weather, and I don't own any decent clothing for that weather. I'm like, man, I need to go buy like some double knee jeans, like some Carhartts or something, so that it's just good for that weather and forging and stuff. They don't have them anywhere. There's nowhere around here. Like you go to all the stores and it's nobody I don't know. I guess there's just no need, so there's no supply. It's sad that you can't buy like pants here. I mean, unless you want like
Zack's Florida rant.
Yeah. No, that's it for me.
Yeah, we made it 5 minutes.
For that one. What about you, Will? What you got going on besides the head cold?
Yeah, I've got the sniffles. So I am trying to make progress on this cherry shaker dresser that I'm building for a client. I've got all of the panels for the sides and the divider glued up and planed down, and they're absolutely gorgeous curly cherry. And I've got the top glued up, and right now I'm just working on the sliding dovetails for the framework. Hopefully I'll get that wrapped up today. I'm waiting on some drawer slides that should have been here like last week. I don't know what's taking them so long. But after this podcast, I'm going to go to the hardwood dealer and pick up like 100 board feet of walnut for these bar tops. For a friend of mine, they're like 13 feet long by 20 inches wide by 10.5 feet long by 12 feet, and then another lower bar that's like 10.5 feet. It's a lot of milling and gluing in my future. I see. I just put out a little Instagram banger video on my bandsaw. I was resawing some reclaimed red oak. I think it's red oak. And it is my most engaged post on Instagram ever. So that was surprising. I just kind of put it together because I love a finely tuned bandsaw, and I put the video out on Instagram of the bandsaw blade cutting like right on the line through the cut, no drift, and everyone's just kind of like, whoa. So that was cool. I also just put out a video on understanding the terminology when you go to a hardwood dealer, and that has been really well received. Talking about the difference between plain sawn or flat sawn, quarter sawn, rift sawn, what we talk about when we say figure in wood, medullary raise, what is a board foot, how to calculate board feet, talking about, measuring in quarters, 4/4, 5/4, 6/4, 8/4, 10/4, things like that. And I did get the obligatory, the imperial system is stupid comment on the video. So
it is though. I mean, it really is. Like I use it.
I didn't make it up.
Yeah, but it is stupid. Like we made a push in the 80s to go to metric, and we just gave up. We just quit. We said nope. This moving the decimal point over stuff is way too tricky for us. We want our fractions back.
I know it's stupid, but I really enjoy the imperial system.
I mean, I go by it because I live in the States and everything else goes by it. But man, like metric is just
I found the answer
better.
to it. Just don't measure.
That is the best. That's the best way.
I measure in potatoes. That's about 3 potatoes long.
Bobs. You got to measure everything in bobs. There's a select few people that might catch that reference.
My grandma still weighs herself in stone, so.
Yeah.
She's Scottish though, so that's different. James, what are you working on, man?
This will be the last time you'll hear me say this, but I've been working on the table. Very, very happy. I got it all finished.
Man, the base on that thing is so cool. Like it's like architecture. I really like the base.
It is a very derisive base. A lot of people look at it and they're like, "Oh, that is ugly," and a lot of people look at it and say, "Oh, that's cool." And there are very few people who are middle of the road on it. I
think it's super cool. I mean, it's unique, and it doesn't look like every farmhouse table.
Mm-hmm.
It's arts and craftsy, but it's still like unique. It has like a architectural like bridginess to it that I like.
Yeah, it's a design that I've been messing with in the back of my brain for years, and just kind of pulling a little piece from this and a little piece from that, and I'm very happy with how it came out. And it fits if you look at the base without the top, it looks very big and clunky. But then once you put the top on it, it makes it look much, much smaller all of a sudden. Because the top is twice the weight of the base, which is still impressive.
That's a beefy table.
Yeah. But yeah, we did Tuesday. We put the finish on the top of the top, and then later that day we carried it upstairs. And so I will be having that video coming out Saturday. And that was, but yeah, I've been, ever since I carried the slabs downstairs with my dad, I've been trying to figure out how do I carry both slabs upstairs at the same time in one big piece. And so I've been thinking through this for the last year, and I've come to, the best method I can possibly come up with. And I still had some questions of, are we going to run into this? Are we going to run into that? And everything in math came out to work well. Everything measured out to fit through doorways and turns we have to make, but you never know until you get there. And it came through, and it was far easier than I expected. We just picked it up, carried it. It was like 3 minutes at max to move it from basement upstairs, and it was done. So we spent more time talking through how it was going to be done than actually moving it.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta like do it. Like when you mind F yourself, and you just gotta do it.
I had this whole dance choreography figured out for 4 people carrying the top, but it was pretty straightforward when it's done. So that should be a fun video.
I'm about to start on another massive walnut top, but I've been thinking about you and your massive top, and I'm like, how am I going to move this stuff around?
Yeah, I actually installed chains in my ceiling so that I could flip it by myself. I did that last week. So I can actually put a clamp on either end of the top and rotate it midair and put it back down. And so helps. Yeah, hopefully I won't have to say that again. So the table is done.
So what's new for you guys? What do you guys have on the agenda? What are you excited about?
I actually get my shop back. I get to clean.
Yeah.
My shop is like twice as large as it used to be. Apparently.
Any like ambitious projects on the horizon?
Canoe, guitar, mandolin.
That's going to be an interesting build.
Which one? The canoe and the guitar?
Yeah. Same build, same thing. Have you seen those guitar boats and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, I don't know. I keep toying with my, whether I want to do the canoe first or a guitar first, or start with like a mandolin, something smaller, but then I don't know. But
you gonna do the fretboard and all that stuff?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. You're into that fine woodworking stuff though.
No, I am into that fine woodworking stuff.
I'm into like cutting out, rectilinear shapes and sticking them together and being done. That's my thing.
Well, so it's funny because I don't ever look that like inward towards myself, like of how other people kind of perceive me. But I'm part of this Southern Woodworkers group on Facebook, and somebody messaged me the other day and just said, "Hey, like I love your videos. We're part of the same group, and I know a lot of the guys in the group look up to you as this like fine woodworker." And they think that they could never achieve like the stuff that you do. And I didn't think I was that good. Like, I think I'm okay. Like I'm, you know what I mean? Like, but I never thought I'd be perceived as like this, like really, really good woodworker. Cause I see some of the stuff that the guys are putting out. I don't know. Do you guys ever have that? Like where people message you and kind of like shine a new light on the way people see you?
Yeah. Every now and then.
I just get the ones that say, "You suck."
Well, anytime you start working in metal, though, you get into a whole world of machinists and precision that just doesn't go into.
No, I get a lot of positive emails, so that's good. I was being sarcastic. Usually the comments are the ones that say "you suck" on my videos.
Only if I put it on Reddit.
There's so many. What's funny to me is like how insecure some of those. You can just tell. Like I don't care. Like I don't even It doesn't faze me at all. But like, you can see the comments. Like I get comments like, "Oh, you suck at playing guitar" or something like that, and I'm just like, "What?" I mean, I don't care, but I'm like, that you can just totally tell that comes from like somebody's weird sense of either like depraved ego or like some sort of insecurity, or it's just, I mean, it's so like, I don't know. It's interesting to me. Or I don't know where I'm going with this, but those comments are, I think they're sad, but they're funny, but they're sad. I don't know.
Yeah. There's like another.
They're like
thing.
so petty. They're like so ridiculously petty. It's funny to me.
I actually keep a file of the really good ones, that are like the death threats almost. I love those ones. Those are actually a lot of fun to read.
I think I've gotten a death threat. I'm up for it though. So if anybody's listening, feel free to threaten me on, I don't know, like so late, like this last video, like did really well. But I don't know. I check the comments for like a day or two and then I kind of tune out. Yeah, the next video I put out, feel free to threaten me. Like, I don't know. If it's a good one, I'll remember.
I don't know. Me and Matt Cremona have
put a smiley face at the end.
Yeah, this back and forth of, amazingly terrible comments. Like, because he'll post them on Facebook. Like, oh, got this one today, and it's somebody ripping him up and down for talking too long or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I did see one thing in one of the Facebook groups I think we're all part of lately, where somebody was posting something that they thought wasn't very good craftsmanship that was for sale, and then some people came back in the group and responded like, "Well, why don't you just put something positive instead of trying to bring others down? Like, why don't you put up something that people can aspire to?" And that was really, I was glad that people kind of took it that way instead of.
If we could only do the same, politically, what a world.
Yeah, right.
Cool. Well, do we have any questions this week? I don't think we actually have any questions. What's going on with this world?
What was that?
What?
Oh. Okay, never mind. Something in the live chat that looked, at first glance, looked bad. I mean, it's bad. I'm just going to stop talking.
What do you guys say we jump into the photo challenge? Because we haven't done that in, was it 2 or 3 weeks now?
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Do it.
So who gets the prize this week? Because last time was from all 3 of us.
I'm going to be gone for a while, so I nominate somebody else.
I nominate James.
Yes.
Sounds good. I've got, if anyone wants one of my shirts, I only have a few of them left. So I'll send out one of those. I'm probably going to be getting a new style in here soon, but you get to win one of the last few shirts that I have. So, Zach, what you got?
Wait, are we doing the photo challenge right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I picked 2 of them. Look at that. My choice, I'm going to pull them up so that I can actually explain them. My first choice is Brandy Abe. I think she had another good one a couple weeks ago. She has this like rolling jig, and it's just really cool. I mean, I know the theme was cutting edge, and there's like sharp edges. It's not technically a cutting edge, but it's just such a cool picture. Like the angles are good. It's what it is it's a tubing roller, and it's rolling angle iron, but she notched it so that she could. It's a really cool. It's just really neat. I wouldn't have thought about doing that, and it looks really good.
It's taking me back to my master's work.
Yeah,
I used to do that for square tube. We cut notches in 3 of the sides so that we could bend it around.
Yeah, looks very laborious, but
yeah,
very cool. So that's my first choice, and then my second one. Where did it go here? My second one is Justin Limoges or Limoges. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. I'm trying to pull up the picture of my Instagram. Creators Photo Challenge. Yes, it is. I don't know why my Instagram is so slow. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so it's just router bits. So there's the cutting edge. The lighting's good. The focus is good. It's a good picture. Yeah,
Sweet.
that's about all I have to say about that.
What about you, Will?
So I also picked Justin Limoges, however you pronounce it. We've talked about it before, and he's actually messaged us how to pronounce it. We still can't do it. So we got that going for us. The router bits, yep, it's shallow depth of focus. Just a really nice photo. And then my other one is Little City Workshop. And it's a photo of a chisel and some shavings and some chips, I'd say. And it's leading lines, filling the frame. It's a picture of a chisel, so there's a cutting edge. It's photographically, it's really, really good. So those are my two. James, how about you?
I'm going to have to go with Frog Legs Craft Shop. At least I think that's what it is. But he has a picture of a draw knife. And it's such a simple, easy picture that, just kind of cool. With a green leather background or teal leather background, but a really nice draw shave that was handmade by someone at some point. It spoke to me. And so I choose that one. Let's see. My other one was also Brandy. What's the last?
Abe, I think.
Yeah, Brandy.
Studio Abe.
The bending the steel, that took me back to my my master's work, and the sharp edge really is true because it is like a guillotine. There's no way to actually hold the piece without slicing yourself. So I like that one. So thank you for that. Which I think gives us a tie.
Does it?
Yeah,
it does.
And Zach, you voted for both of them, so you get to pick which one of the two.
Oh man.
The bending the steel or the chisel? No, it was the router bits.
You know, I think
Justin or Brandy.
I think I'm going to go. It's so close, but I think I'm going to pick. I think Brandy just won like 2-3 weeks ago. She had that kind of like gothic looking chandelier thing. Remember?
Oh yeah.
So I think I'm gonna have to give it to Justin because he hasn't won. If I find out that Brandy didn't win, if she was a runner up, I'm gonna feel really crappy and I'll send her a shirt out of guilt. But I think she won.
Cool. Then, Justin, if you can send me a message, Instagram, I can get your address and get one of those in the mail. Also need your shirt size. So, booyah.
I also want to throw out an honorable mention to Claus Creations because I guess he works at the Gransfors Brooks shop factory. They make the really awesome axes.
Oh yeah.
And he posted a photo of their throwaway pile, and it made me cry a lot. But it was a really, really great photo as well. So check that out. I'll put it in the live chat. But if you guys, it makes me sad. There's like 100, nearly perfect axes that didn't make the cut through their quality control, and they're just garbage now. And I would take all of them. But anyway, sorry I sound like Tom Waits gargling gravel, guys.
I love Tom Waits.
Nice.
We should get him as a guest host.
We should get Tom Waits, Nick Nolte. Who else has a fun voice?
Bob Dylan. There was a skit, I think it was Family Guy, did a skit of like Muhammad Ali, Bob Dylan, and Tom Waits like talking to each other. It was awesome.
That's funny.
Yes.
Where are we?
I don't know.
You put a joke of the week in there, Will. Why don't you read yours?
I did. So this is from Hammerbunnyworkshop, which I love that name. Why aren't the Stanley number 45 and 55 combination blades allowed into heaven? Because they have no souls.
Nice. I like that one.
Yeah. Yep. There you go.
I heard one this week that I had to retell. I like telling dad jokes. Sometimes he laughs.
That's good. I like that one.
That's so bad.
That's one of my favorites.
So if you have a joke you'd like us to tell, go ahead and send it to one of us, and we'll put it on there. I think it's turning into my favorite section of the podcast.
What do you have coming up, Will? I want something exciting. Everybody's doing the same crap. Do something. What are you guys doing? What's new? Come on.
I just told you. Guitar, canoe.
Which one? Which one are you doing?
Probably guitar first.
Okay.
And then a canoe in the spring.
What are you doing? Your own like body shape
of a guitar?
Yeah.
I'll probably model it after somebody
your body.
Who's done
you should do a silhouette of your body as the body of the guitar, and then your head as the headstock.
God, that would be terrible. I just have this vision of like my head and like a really long neck and a portly acoustic dreadnought.
You can make the neck like a beard, like a Duck Dynasty, like just make it, pointy at the bottom.
Wow. No, I'm probably going to, look up measurements that other people have already figured out to, acoustically sound good.
Is it going to be a 12-string canoe or a 6?
It's going to be 6-string.
Historically,
yeah,
canoes are 7-string.
Yeah,
unless it's a baritone canoe.
Maybe I'll have in the video. I'll be playing the guitar in the middle of the pond, and somebody would comment, "Why the hell would you bring a guitar into a pond?" Yeah, so probably guitar first, just because it's getting colder here. So I wouldn't be able to launch the canoe that I make until the spring anyway.
You should make ice skates.
No. That's terrible. It doesn't get cold enough for Virginia.
Oh.
Okay. All right, Zach, what are you working on? What's inspiring you? What's like your next big...
I don't know. I've been trying to think of that lately, and I've really been just enjoying myself forging hammers and stuff. And there's some new designs that I want to do, but like, I know this is just like a phase that I'm going through, because I feel like every endeavor that I take in like the making, realm is always like short-lived. I'll get into something for a little bit, and then I'll go back and I'll figure out how to tie it in. And that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. I'm like, okay, I'm learning how to forge stuff. I'm learning how like the system, getting comfortable with my press. And eventually I want to take that back, because I think at the heart of everything, what really intrigues me is design. I know I've said that before, but I really like coming up with new shit, like I don't want to say like coming up with new shapes, because that's not going to happen. But I mean, coming up with new ways of putting shapes together, I guess, is kind of what design is to me. And I think that's always like, that's my home base. And like, I'm vacationing and I'm learning and I'm exploring all these different mediums. And the goal is to get competent in those and then bring them back into design. And I don't know. I'm really like, the big game plan is to take some of this forging and then go back to like furniture. Cause I feel like furniture and design are just, furniture is a great medium to express design, and the more like facets of making that I explore, I get those, that's a skill set that I can incorporate into design. So at some point, like, and I'm starting to get like the inclinations to go back and start doing some designing and some furniture stuff. But I've really just been enjoying myself forging lately, because it's definitely the steepest learning curve of anything I've done. You you'd think it's easy. You get metal hot and you hit it and it moves. And that really is it. That's all it is. But it never goes where you want it to. Like it's one of the most frustrating things because it's just not near as intuitive as you would expect it to be. So I don't know. Yeah.
Whatever happened to you got a lathe and you turned a segmented bowl and some phallic shaped file handles, and then I haven't heard anything about the lathe. Are you going to get back into turning?
That was my last video, man. Give me a break. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think that I don't see, like, I don't look at tools and think, okay, I need to use this. Like, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but like, normally what dictates the process is the design. If it's, I'll come up with a design or something and I'm like, okay, what tools do I need to do this? And the lathe has just been a tool that's found itself into some of my projects, just like the rest of them. So I think the form comes first, and then whatever method to accommodate that form is kind of the way it happens, if that makes sense for me.
So I go with Kurt Ziegler, who's in the chat, said a spalted bird's eye live edge toboggan.
Nice. You have to do that like super artisanal and like ultra hipstery.
Well, that is actually something I'm thinking I want to try this winter, is to make a traditional bent toboggan.
That would be a cool video.
That would be cool.
But we'll see. Especially with live oak, it would do really well. With white oak, it would do really well with that. So,
yeah. Do you steam bend the curl?
I think you'd have to.
Yeah.
That would be a really cool video.
We'll see. But I'm probably going to
Jackman should do that, and since he's kind of got like the Christmas monopoly, I think that flag lamp video is still like my favorite one.
I could just see Paul riding a bent toboggan, like gleefully.
Yeah, he's the man for the build for sure.
Yeah, sorry, James. James, have you ever thought about like coopering, making a barrel or something?
No, it's one of the things I'd like to do.
Have you coopered?
I haven't done much. I mean, I did a small bucket a while ago with a twine wrap instead of steel wrap. But I would like to actually get into making barrels and buckets with steel rings. But it's the steel work that I don't have the capability to do. Then there's also a whole series of tools that go into coopering, because you have, the Cooper's plane, which is like a 4-foot long plane that you mount the plane to the bench and you move your work over it, as well as the tools needed for cutting the rim around the top of the barrel and the notch inside that the lid clips into. And a bunch of things like that are very specific to making a barrel or a jug or something of that nature. But yeah, I would like to. But now that the table is done, I think I'm going to be doing a bunch of little things. I like to do that. I'll do a big project, and I'll do a whole bunch of little things until I get tired of the little things, and then I'll dive into some big project that stalls for a while, and then I finally finish it, and then I'll go back to a bunch of little things.
I feel like I've got like a million little things that I need to do around the house that I just never finished, like putting like little pieces of like custom trim up and stuff like that. I want to reorganize my office closet and build like a whole shelving system in there. But the cobbler's kids doesn't have any shoes.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's talk about what's been inspiring us. What are we watching, reading? Will, what you got?
So Green Beetle, I know I've talked about him on the show before, but he is a pretty awesome knife maker. He makes really interesting knives. But he just put out a video called "That's Not Damascus," and it's a rant about people that comment when he puts something as Damascus steel. They say that it's not Damascus because of X, Y, or Z. He put out this awesome video with like cited references about, you know, why it is Damascus. And it was just like, for any like of the haters out there that leave bad comments on videos, like Zach was saying, like it was the perfect response. And it just like, it was just really awesome. And it wasn't like, it wasn't like mean spirited. It was just like actually, here's why it is X, Y, and Z, and goes through and like talks about why Woot's Damascus is, you know, fell out of favor in India and the British Empire, and just all this. It was just really, really good. It was a guilty pleasure to watch. So yeah, what are you guys watching? This is James.
I have to go with Johnny Brook, our past co-host. He put out he put out a video on a floating planter, and I've seen a bunch of people do this, but he really showed a bunch of different ideas and where to get it, and it made me want to build one. So they're really cool. Just interesting. If you don't know what it is, it's a magnetic, electromagnetic base that then will levitate a magnet above it, and so you can hold, I think it was 11 ounces or so on top of it, and so most people turned it into a planter. And a bunch of interesting ideas came up with that, thinking about what could I put on there that's not just a planter. So yeah, we'll be seeing.
Didn't Kyle Toth do a similar thing with a segmented bowl, levitating segmented bowl?
I think he did.
I mean, this is a while ago, but yeah, very cool. I watched that project too.
What about you, Zach? What you got?
So I've been reading. I got a book on Gio Ponti, who's an Italian designer, and yeah, so there.
Cool.
Well, fine then. What's your favorite?
He's done. You know, like I don't like everything that he's done, but he's certainly done some really cool stuff. And he was kind of one of those people that ushered in kind of some like neoclassical, like early modernism stuff. He's done a lot of furniture, a lot of architecture, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. And plus it's always interesting to read. So I'm reading a book that's, it's not like a biography, I don't know, but it's just kind of talks a little bit about him, has some of his projects and stuff. And it's just interesting to learn how people approach things, what was going on in the time period. Like, apparently, and you learn stuff about other things when you read, go figure. So around, this is in like the early or like late 1800s, early 1900s, constructivism is something that it was just talking about, which was kind of something that was, you can tell I'm trying to multitask right now. So if you go to like, this is like something that was kind of a short-lived architectural style that was kind of popular when he was starting to do his stuff. And it's like it's called Constructivism Architecture. And it's so cool. Like I never would have found this if I weren't reading this book. So Google that. So you just kind of like you read, and at least for me, like I read and I find all these little tangents and avenues of other things to explore. And yeah, so constructivism architecture is pretty cool. It's something I didn't really know much about until I started reading this.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
What about you, Will?
Didn't I already say Green Beetle?
No. What? Oh, sorry. What? No.
What about you, James?
What about you, Zach?
What's your favorite tool of the week?
Oh man, my favorite tool of the week is an 18 by 24 flexible LED panel. A company just sent me one to try out and give my thoughts on and review. And holy moly, like I was kind of skeptical about how like soft the light would be and how, you know, bright it would be. It's my absolute new favorite light. It's awesome. It's flexible. It's waterproof, and it's flat, so you can put it, you know, right up against a wall if you are limited on space in the space that you're filming. Yeah, just that's my thing. That's what I got. 18 by 24 flexible LED panel, and it's bicolor light, so it's between 3,000 and 5,600 Kelvin. So you can match whatever ambient light you're in. So it's How about you, James?
Cool. Well, for me, I have to go with the appliance strap. The straps that you put across your shoulders and they go underneath the appliance to someone on the other side. And they allow you to lift an incredible amount of weight. We used to use them. I did appliance delivery for a store in Wisconsin, and they make it much, much easier. Two people can carry far more than they could on a dolly. But we had 2 sets of these for 4 of us carrying the top upstairs. And they made it really easy. We just picked the thing up and walked away with it. Didn't even think about it. It felt much, much lighter than it should have. So yeah, definitely. If you're moving something big, think about appliance straps.
All right.
Did we skip you, Zach, or did you have anything?
Yeah, mine is actually, this is really dumb, but these little like 3M like hand and nail scrubbers, I think they call them. It's like, it almost looks like a little grout brush. I'm sure they have them at every grocery store. But just keep that thing by your sink. Like I always just had like pumice and like, rubbed and blah, blah, blah in it. But like having an actual like short bristled scrub brush like gets a lot of stuff out of your fingers and nails. And that's kind of a weird choice, but it's kind of a revolutionary addition to my cleaning.
To your hygiene. To
my hygiene, yes.
I think you're turning a little bit too much Florida there.
Hygiene? No, not at all. Cleaning myself? No.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have yammered on for long enough. So I do want to say a huge thank you to our patrons on Patreon and everyone who's helped making this podcast better. Also, if you would like to join us live, we do record every Thursday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. And you can join us in the live chat, have your questions answered on air, and participate in all the shenanigans that go on behind the scenes. So you can find that on youtube.com Creators Collective. And looking forward to seeing you there next time. Anything else before I go? I think that'll about do it.
Before we go?
Yeah.
You're not just leaving us here, are you?
Yeah, I'm just going to leave you in the lurch and you guys can carry on. Cool.
Now we know who really runs this show.
I think that'll about do it.
All
Until
right.
next time, have a wonderful day.
Later.
See you guys.